Welcome back to another ShopRex approved video. We are going to work on this little console thing in here. If you remember a few weeks ago, we figured out how that's supposed to go together. Now what we got to do is figure out how to actually physically do it. So if you recall, I'm going to have to drill some holes because it's an aftermarket console and they don't exist. But I'm going to have to drill some holes so that all of this goes in. So this rubber has a little metal support, and that will mount in the side up here like that, you know, from the inside on each side, and that becomes the wipe on the outside of this. And if you recall, we had found that the other side sandwiches in on here. So we've got to get all that sorted out and get it put together. These 4 holes, getting those located and figuring out how on earth we're going to drill them, that should be the fun part. Okay, I was about to start kind of lining that up and then realized I don't actually know how high up and down I want it. So I think this is the only way to find out, is to get that in there, but I've got to have the key so that I can take it and put her in neutral or first. So we'll get that, I'll get it screwed down, and then we'll kind of see roughly how high that needs to be. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now when I look at the silver here, oh, let me move the light so you guys can see a little better. See how it's just below that? So basically what I want is for those to be as high up as I can get them. That's what it comes out to. So we just needed to know. So let me get that apart now. I just had that in against this angle that's back here and level so that the rubber was level with this bottom over to that bottom. And now I just marked it. Now I just got to figure out how I'm drilling those holes. I've got those drilled, and all I did, because it's, you know, plastic going into plastic, we didn't hook up the air. I just used this and held it, and then with my other hand just gently turned it and drilled the hole. So if we'd hooked the air up, it spun too fast, and I was so worried it would just go right through and we'd have a hole coming to the outside. So it takes a couple extra minutes, but seems like a safer bet. Okay, so we've got that side in. Just got to do the other side, so I just moved all the tools over. We'll get that in just a minute. I always say aftermarket garbage is garbage. That was hard to put those 6 screws in. They were not lined up at all, but we eventually won. So we now have the shifter, we have the console all together, and look at that. So we started this ages and ages and ages ago, and now it looks pretty good. Okay, we figured we'd take a check, and that lights up pretty nice. So there, we actually did something useful. And you know, rinse and repeat. Might as well do it while we remember what we're doing. So we're going to go ahead and do this one as well. So it should work just as good as that. Shouldn't take very long. Too soon. We have a problem we don't have on the other car. I don't know how well this is going to show up, but this basket is way closer to this side than to that side. So I'm going to play the loosen and wiggle and move everything around game for a bit. Otherwise, we're going to really be pushing hard against that one rubber felty thing. Still got to do the screws, but that took a few minutes. We're getting her. She's going to work. And the story of things that suck when you're a fat guy, I got that in there, but that wasn't very fun at all. There, we made that work. So we got that one. It now has a console, and that one now has a console. All done. So these both started as bench seat column shift cars, and now they're bucket console cars. See? So much more fun. Okay, I know it's a El Camino video, but real quick, I want to show you. He's got that all pocketed in on both sides. Trunk drops are in. You know, so yeah, that's just going to verify and make certain that, you know, the tire doesn't hit that funky bump that's there. And we know that's for the seatbelt thing. We'll deal with that when we get there. If this just becomes a manual lap belt. That's fine. I can't imagine he was going to sit back there anyway. You can see he's got that one all done up nice. So now, as soon as he's got a nice day, he'll roll her out, sandblast it, and get some paint on there, stop the rust. And then they can finish off this tail pan and, you know, the little bit of dents that come, you know, because this is a reused factory quarter. But, you know, aftermarket garbage is garbage. We fight that every time. I know sometimes it's the only thing we can get, but oh, it's always frustrating. You always waste a lot of time and a lot of hassle. Factory parts, they just fit better. With that, I think we're going to call it a day. We have gotten some parts for the 78. The axles are here. So there's a start. So we've got our axles. And right here we've got some of our steering stuff and the pitman arm. So that's moving along. It's kind of nice to have the shifters done on the El Caminos. That's been on the list for a little while. And today was just a good day for it. Corvette's still sitting here being all happy. And yeah, I think at this point I'll turn it over to ShopRex. Sorry it's such a short video, but thanks for watching. ShopRex has to remember, safety first.